Hello and welcome. This is my video demonstration of my new spread that I just created, and this spread is called Embracing Change, and as you can see it's a 5-card spread, and it's for anyone who is going through a period of transition or change in their life and they just want some insight and guidance as to where it's all going and what they can do to help themselves ease their way through this period of transition. So the first card I'm going to turn over represents the action that we can take right now to ease this transition. So what we can do to make the transition and period of change easier for us. And we've got the 6 of Cups. And I should also mention that I'm not doing this reading for anyone. It's just a demonstration reading. So it's a general reading, so you might find that aspects of this reading apply to your own life, or you might not. Okay, just wanted to get that out of the way. So we've got 6 of Cups, and 6 of Cups is all about friendliness, friendly support, and helping those around us, and also being able to accept help from others. So this could mean that you need to accept help from friends and family. So if people are offering help, this is the perfect time to kind of take them up on that offer and benefit from others' generosity and support. And it can also mean that reaching out and helping others around you will help you transition much more quickly. So sometimes that can be a very empowering and grounding experience when we offer help to other people, even though we're going through a real period of maybe turmoil or change. So accepting help from others and also reaching out and helping others at the same time would be the action that would really help you get through this time of change. And so the second card represents support. So this is what's supporting you. So it could be a person, could be a group that you can draw on for support. And so we've got the 7 of Swords, and this is such an interesting card. So it shows this guy kind of sneaking away from this sort of village of tents, and this card speaks to the importance of having a plan. So don't just go into things absent-mindedly or kind of at the last minute and not having a proper plan. So this is, I don't think this represents a particular person or group. I think this is more kind of advice as to kind of what you can do to ground yourself and give yourself that sense of stability during this transition. So hatching a plan. So make sure you have things planned out. I mean, when you're going through a change, sometimes everything's up in the air and it's impossible to plan and it's impossible to know what's going to happen. But it's important for you to have a plan just for your own sanity. So it doesn't mean that you have to, follow that plan to a T, but just to have, a plan and a backup plan. And you might even want to write it down, and that might give you a real sense of being more in control, because when you're in a time of change or transition, sometimes there's that feeling of not really being in control. So I would read this card as more of an advice card. Okay, third card represents what you will gain from this change. So you always want to know when you're going through a change, like, what's the point of all this? Where's it all going? Are things going to work out? Am I going to, benefit from this change? And so this card answers that question. So we've got 4 of Wands, and 4 of Wands is, to me, such a grounded, stable card. This represents the hearth, the home, community, feeling like you're part of a community. This card also can quite often represent weddings and marriages. So, a village or a family coming together to celebrate something. Or it could be, like celebrating the harvest, so like a holiday like Thanksgiving or Christmas or something like that. But there's definitely a really strong sense of community coming together to celebrate, a common thing, a common good. So, so this card represents kind of the true reason for all this change and how the change is going to benefit you. So this could actually represent a change in location to me, because Four of Wands represents hearth and home and kind of where you live in your community. It could mean that this change is going towards, being a good, strong part of a new community, or it could just mean establishing a deeper sense of community in the community that you're already in. But there's definitely a real sense of connectedness and feeling like you're part of something, and an air of celebration. So wherever this change is going, it's very positive. Okay, and then the fourth card represents what you need to let go of in order to move forward more smoothly. So we've got Three of Pentacles, and I always see this card as representing a career that's very meaningful, very rewarding. But it doesn't necessarily have to mean a career. It could also just mean doing very meaningful work and kind of putting your energy and your expertise and your skills into something that you feel is really important and meaningful. And it's something that, you can get really lost in your work and really enjoy it. So because this is in the past, I would also read this card as past experience that you can draw on for support now. So kind of past, experience and wisdom that you can benefit from now. So I would say that this card is representing that that ability to really know what's important to you and be able to, channel your energy towards something that has real meaning for you. And it's very similar, I think, to the Four of Wands, in that both cards are quite stable, quite grounded cards. And this card can also represent what you could be losing as a result of this change. So, you could be losing a job that you really loved, and this would be something that's already happened. This isn't in the future. So you could be, moving to a new location and moving away from a job that's really meaningful to you, and that could be, one of the main changes that you're going through. But this is essentially kind of what you're letting go of, but it looks like you're moving in a direction that is so similar to this, that in actual fact, while there is a change and a transition, you aren't really losing that. That's something that you're going to be taking with you. And then the last card represents higher guidance. So this is guidance that that's coming from either your higher self or your angels and spirit guides. But basically it's kind of letting you know what you need to know about this transition period. So we've got the Fool, and the Fool is kind of, I think, sort of the one of the most essential cards in that topic of change and transition, because the Fool is all about new beginnings and fresh starts, and having that trust and that optimism as you step forward into the unknown. So the higher guidance here is basically to kind of take that approach that, this is a new beginning, this is something that's fresh, exciting, it's a fresh start, and there's no reason why you shouldn't be optimistic and be trusting as you go into this. And the Fool also, it's kind of like a warning card, like, go into things with optimism, but don't be a complete idiot, do your homework, do your research, go into it with a level head, don't go, with your head in the clouds. So don't be a total moron, but there's no reason why you shouldn't be very optimistic and happy about this change. Yeah, and so then after you do the reading, you can take a step back, and there's different kind of questions you could ask, or different cards that you could compare. So you could compare this card number 3, with card number 4. So this is kind of, the direction things are headed in versus, what's kind of leaving. And you can see if those two cards are similar, if they're kind of opposing. You can focus on that. You can also compare card number 1 with card number 2. So this was the action that you could take to help ease the change. And this is the support that you could call on to help you. And you can see how these two kind of interact. Once again, if they're similar, if they're different, if they seem to be opposed, if they seem to be supporting each other.